guys, Jesse Kotton back here with Luxury Gaming. Just played YCS Lima 2023 and ended up in top 16. Yeah, I played Kashtira. I know I've been hating on that deck a lot, but I kind of just phoned it in for this event and decided to play it anyways. If you want to hear a more in-depth explanation on why I chose that Kashtira in particular, you can check out my channel, Jesse Kotton Yugioh, or Jesse Kotton YGO, and the explanation will be there. But for YCS deck lists, this is the place to be. Subscribe here as well. And then before I begin, huge thanks to Luxury Gaming for sponsoring me for these events. Very much appreciated. Makes it possible. Anyways, yeah, I'll get into the deck. It is slightly different than some other Kashtira decks, but for the most part, it's normal. This should be standard. There's 3 of each of these. 1 Ogre, 1 Scary Claw. I'm not playing Tier Element Kashtira because I don't think you need the extender like that. This one is definitely the better one because it can be a big Yugioh. And then sometimes there's also just bigger. And then I played 1 Rise Heart only. Sorry, 1 Rise Heart. Even though sometimes it combos with Birth, it's typically not a good starter and it's not a great extender. So I didn't want to play multiple. And even though I play another card that may banish it face down, if it gets banished face down and you have just Unicorn, you can just go Unicorn, Theosis for Fenrir, add this, and then also makes a Rise Heart. That's important because I'm like not doing full combo like almost ever. Where I play this deck is like a Zodiac deck where I'm trying to go Dryden Pass and just try to play the control game with power spells, and then win that way. Worked pretty well for me. I almost never went Shangri-La on my own first turn. If you don't do these flashy plays, this card's not as important. Yeah, no regrets there. I never really missed it, even when I got banished face down. So for the other piece of the engine, I've got obviously this. No Scareclaw Field Spell because I don't think they're good enough. Just rather play other cards. You want to play a lot of non-engine in this deck because that's why it's like a decent deck in theory, is you can play a lot of non-engine, and then a lot of these cards are just good by themselves, like 1 Field Spell or 1 Fenrir, 1 Unicorn. Then this is standard for the engine. I am still playing these because if you're playing a grind game deck, then this is great in a grind game. It's also good against Naturia Sacred Tree because you get to rip a card from their hand. It could be the Naturia if they only have the 1, or something else if not. But yeah, being able to constantly summon is nice. And then even if I'm not going for the combo, this is good because if your hand is lacking disruption, then instead of banishing Papias off a Rise Heart, so yeah, you can, when you do the standard or Rise Heart play, you'll go this and you'll be presented with a choice of banishing either of these from the deck. Pretty much you have to decide which one you want to attach to a Rise Heart later on in the turn. Theosis will give you a Fenrir or Unicorn for follow-up. And Big Bang will let you special summon a material under it, so it could be the Fenrir or Unicorn. So if your hand is light on disruption but has follow-up, then you want to go for Big Bang. And then this is the opposite for when you want more follow-up. And then sometimes it's also just a decent disruption card to search. Yeah, I mean, it is a little bricky, but it's fine. And then also going second, you kind of wanted to play through fields. Let you just kind of play more powerfully, especially when at that point you can make a read. There's no Nibiru. You don't feel bad playing aggressively. And then because this deck is not fully consistent, it's a lot of 1-card starters, but not like enough for me to be happy. You obviously have the pots, and expanding upon that is desires as well. It's Pot of Greed. The main reason, I shouldn't have to argue why Pot of Greed is good. The reason you wouldn't want to play with Pot of Desires is the downside of banishing 10. So we have to ask, is that worth it? And anything we really want to need in our deck, we play 3 of, at which point this is fine. The things that we'd be scared of banishing are 1 of, so like these. And honestly, like if you banish any one of them, they're not that big of a deal. I don't know where the Rise Heart is, or the Rise Heart, somewhere there. But you don't need them to win. You can like switch off your plays, and it's not a big deal. And having access to the Pot of Greed to increase consistency for non-engine and engine is just fantastic. Now you may ask, is 5 pots too much? No. I have a video on my channel called Why Heart of the Cards is Rubbish. Talking about why 5 is like my magic number for things I only want to draw exactly 1 of. This is kind of a thing, 5 pots. I only need like bricked on the pots like twice, and the one time is still fine, like the rest of my cards are still good enough. And then like 2 times where I had both of these and I forced one through like an interrupt, like Desires, I got Ashed, or I got Apex Avian one time, and then I used this and it's fine. It's like you can bait it out. Most people will negate Desires because, again, Pot of Greed is a good card. That's not what's up for debate. So yeah. Another thing people asked me was if you get like the Lock 5 comboed or Lock 3 comboed, that if you Desires, then you can't. Then they'll banish the rest of your deck with Mind Hacker. However, your deck is 40 cards. You'll draw 6. They'll banish 7 off the top of your deck with the combo. So that's 13 cards gone. If you banish 10 off Desires and then draw 2, that's another 12 cards gone. That's 25 cards gone. Your deck is 15. Your banish pile 17. I can't use Mind Hacker. So you don't actually deck out. In fact, it's less risk than Prosperity in that regard because they can't even use the Mind Hacker now. Very happy with Desires, even though I played a trimmed engine. Now, obviously, you have to cut something for this, and one of the things I cut was the Arise Heart, which seems counterintuitive, but I did want to maintain a high non-engine count because I think that's where this deck needs to be. And then, so for the non-engine pieces, I had space for 14, so these will change as the meta adapts, but this is what I felt was good for this tournament. 3 Ash, I think it's the only good hand trap, because it hits pretty much everything. It's very impactful in a lot more situations. It can brick the mirror, even though I decided out on the mirror pretty often. It stops Eclipse, it stops Prosperity, which is a nuts card right now because every deck sucks. It hits Brain Diffusion. Yeah, I mean it's the best hand trap for sure. 3 Lance, Bead Book of Moons, Imperms, Runic cards, a lot of those going around. This is more your aggressive card, but also is like ending on just the Rise Heart Pass, you're weak to a lot more of the book cards. And then if you have this plus the Rise Heart, then you need a Kaiju really to play through it without wasting a bunch. 6 books. I think these cards are really good because they're going first and going second options that are almost always good. They're decent in every matchup, or pretty much every matchup, and they're great in some others as well. Very happy with these cards. They were fantastic. Yeah, I think these are just solid cards for now. And this is definitely the biggest weakness in this deck, which is why I feel like you need Lance to beat it. This Booking the Mooning is just rough. Like you need multiple cards to play through it, and then it's not even a good play through it. And then my last 2 spots was 2 evenly matched. They were Lightning Storms at first, but I got talked out of it because of, Trap Tricks being able to stop Lightning Storm. So I decided to play Evenlies over Storms. I still had 1 Storm in this side because of side patterns, and I wanted a little more for Labyrinth, but this was solid. It's going against a bunch of different stuff. I just wanted a little more of a blowout card when I went second to kind of make up the advantage that they would have gained from the tempo. I didn't draw it a ton, but it was good most of the time I drew it. I usually don't love this card, but when this deck gets into a grind and you want to play for value, this card is pretty solid. So yeah. So in that same stats video I talked about, I always ask, why do I play the number I play? It's not that I'm playing too evenly because I want to see it sometimes and not others. That is stupid reasoning. It's because I have space for 14 utility cards. That is the number I'm looking at. Not 2, it's 14. So I picked the best 14 available. The OCD thing to do maybe pick like 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. To make it a little more neat. I don't know, but main point is just pick the best cards, and then if this is the worst out of all the best cards, then 2. That's like my theory. Just try and be as logic as possible, logic driven. It's not that it's a 2 of because I don't want to see it sometimes. Just making that very clear so people understand what I'm doing. Yeah, main deck is 40. The deck is kind of inconsistent, so I didn't want to go over that. Let's do the extra deck first. I unfortunately am refilming this deck profile because the last one got messed up, and I've since then given back 2 cards. So I will proxy them in the video. Donor, never summoned it, but it's like to clear up your field for whatever reason. I don't play Nibiru because I don't think it's very good. I played the entire tournament playing around Nibiru, and I assumed more people would do the same. They didn't, but still I didn't want to have that constant risk in my deck, so I didn't play it. Most of the time I'd be using this as if I got their cards, like they gave me something. That never came up though. And then I played for Prosperity. It's good to draw. Like if you're follow-up, Goliath for simply running Flashing Fire. This is good against. And it means they have to use Freezing Curses, I think it's called, to negate a Rise Heart, which is a lot worse for them. Makes it harder for them to clear, so they can't Baron Pop it either. So Wait, or maybe it negates the effect. So then they have to negate it and then, yeah, they have to negate it and then pop it, which is a lot more reasonable for you. It's like a 2-for-1 instead. And this is the one that's new, and that's Fossil Wagon, or Fossil Machine Skull Wagon. One thing for Labyrinth where, like, if you go for the Rise Art play and I kaiju you, this goes in grade, and now you can clean up any floodgates. And it pretty much meant that if you have Prosperity, they can't flood you out of the game super easily, which I feel was your main loss condition versus those trap decks. And you also still banishing it versus every other matchup as well, and it'll still come up against other decks like in the Mirror, where now if you're playing that grind game, because the Mirror is not actually terrible if both players do the respect nib thing. And this card is nice to clean up the births, clean up preparations, or pop up a set card that could be Book of Moon, or even the field spell for the attack bonus. And then you can keep reattaching it off a Rise Heart, so it's very good. I was happy with it. This card is way better than I thought it was because it's not once per turn, and it also triggers Theosis and Big Bang. Yeah, this was probably the most summoned non-Kashtira, probably most non-summoned card besides this, because I didn't summon Shangri-La that much. Yeah. This is like for occasionally when I want a full combo. I have to have a really good hand for full comboing. To be honest, most of the time I will full combo. It's because I can end with this in hand and this face down. Because if you get Nibiru'd, or if I have any way to clear the Arise Heart, you can on their turn special summon this in the main phase by banishing the Arise Heart, and then this bring back Arise Heart. So you'll still have access to it, and if they keep playing, you'll get the materials, and you'll get everything going again. I still want it in there, obviously, for that. Also, if I saw Unicorn, one specific card, I can then chase the next one. And then sometimes you can do some deck up nonsense, so no reason not to play it. Shangri-La, this card doesn't come up that much for me because the way I play it, but it's still fine. Like, it's a Zen main, so you can crash for Zeus on top. And a special summoning and standby face is cool. And then sometimes locking zones, but yeah. 3 Arise Heart. If both players play it like the Zodiac style mirror match, then this is like having a third Trident. It does come up, especially if you summon one and then they break your field, which is not that crazy if you're not doing a strong play. And they go like attack with Unicorn, banish the second. If you don't play a third, you're in a really rough spot because you don't have much follow-up besides like big eyeing theirs. I don't love that, so yeah. I'm very happy with 3. 2 Big Eye, and 2 Zeus. These are just for if you get 1 banished in the mirror, you have the second one. I used this 0 times, and I used this like once, or twice. Yeah, not. I mean, obviously they're good cards, but really this deck was just throw out this, and then yeah, they waste 1 billion cards into it, and then Fenrir Unicorn attack next turn, and it's good enough. So because I played so few hand traps in the main, I wanted some more stuff to beat the Despia stuff. So I'm not like given a monster and then just effed, even if it's not Gimme Puppet. So that's why I played Contact Seize and Bell and Shifter for that deck. I wanted a lot. And then Ash as well, so you have a lot of recourse versus that. Shifter's good versus any Graveyard deck, so I think this card should be standard. I think it's just nuts in so many matchups. Bell hits other stuff as well, like hits Fountain, it hits the Labyrinth stuff. And it can come in for evenlies in a lot of cases, just when it's an above average card, and that's fine. If you can stick like Fenrir Unicorn, slowly gain advantage, and this stopping them from getting rolling, then I'm very okay with that. And this card sucked because I didn't play any Despia, but that was just the theory. I don't know if I'd put it in versus anything else. Not the mirror match. In the mirror, I didn't like Flying Sea in the Zoo mirror, and this is the same. Instead, I'm trying to break the field and prevent it. So this is supposed to be second econ. I have to go back. I'll play through fields, and these can come in for evenlies as well in certain matchups for going first. It's just disruption, which was good, especially if you get Kaiju, then it turns the Kaiju into something. And it also cleans up your field so the Kaiju's not stuck there anymore. And then going second also beats Ibli, which did happen to me once. Econ tribute Ibli, stole Shangri-La. That's pretty good. I had another time in Arise Hard. I debated playing the third one of the Change of Heart, but I got told Change of Heart was just a better card. I'm not fully sure about that. I like Econ a lot as a card. It's one of my favorite cards of all time. I never drew this, though, so I can't really confirm if this would have been worse. Just something to note. But yeah, it's basically 3 steel cards, essentially what it was. And I was told this one was the best, and then this was second best, so that's what I went with. And then I wanted 3 more back row removals, and I like the blowout style of these cards. So I feel this is the best one. And then I was already thinking this was better versus, what's it called? Trap Tricks, and then one more. Yeah, that is the deck. It wasn't as pitiful as I expected it to be, but it still was pitiful. Not a Kashtira fan. If people play it in a way they respect, maybe it is a lot more fun and engaging. That being said, not that many people do it. And if people do that, then you're just kind of rewarded for them doing full combo stuff. So, yeah. If they just ban Mindhacker, it's not a problem, but I've been saying that for a while. Anyways, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to Luxury Gaming.